God of Thunder!
King Yakan!
You have finally joined our fight.
Well, as they say, better late than not at all.
It is very nice. As you know, we used to live in a peaceful oasis, but then our gods were murdered.
Murdered?
And now our sacred temple has been left unguarded, and Hopuskus holds the control of its power. It is our most sacred shrine, and it desecrates.
Not for long. King Yakan, tell them what happened here today. Tell of the time that Thor, ragtag, motley crew, misfit desperados, turned the tide in the battle and etched their names in history. The odds may be against us, but I'll tell you this for free.
Here it comes.
This ends here and now!
Oh!
So that's the ex-girlfriend, is it?
The old ex-girlfriend.
Jodie Foster.
Jane Foster.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
That means escaped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be hard for you to see your ex-girlfriend and your ex-hammer hanging out and getting on so well. What you up to, bro?
Go to Daddy.
Come on now.
Hey, there you are. Hey. I was just calling you to the Shadow Realm.
How'd you know?
The atmosphere there has a darkness like no other. It's as if color fears to tread. It's unmistakable.
Well, then, if it's color we need, let's bring the rainbow.
Bring the rainbow. Is that a catchphrase or something?
She's only been a Thor for a minute. I mean, saving lives she's quite good at, but the rest of it, she needs work.
How many catchphrases have there been?
A lot. Yep. Jump the gun. But hang on, he moves through shadows and he's going to the Shadow Realm. It seems like that's where he's going to be the most powerful.
You're right. We can't just go marching in there. It could be a trap.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'm thinking it.
What are we thinking?
Thinking what?
Thinking it too.
Omnipotent City.
And giant goats!
Oh, look at those! They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
Human handshake. It's the Asgardian shake. Into the snake that you cannot trust. Really dragging this out. And finish the classic Asgardian high one.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my new Thor Love and Thudner trailer video. There's a whole bunch of scenes that they released, so we'll break it all down. A whole bunch of Easter eggs here. Thor trying to rival Spider-Man and Ned Leeds for like the longest handshake in the MCU. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're also doing an IMAX ticket giveaway for the movie because it's getting ready to come out. All you have to do to enter is just be a subscriber and just post your favorite Easter eggs so far on the video. All my post-credit scene videos, Easter eggs for the full movie, will start posting after it comes out. I will do a review for the movie too. But just starting at the beginning, the first big clip is the Guardians of the Galaxy getting a distress call, which we see in the later trailer footage. Like Thor loses all the weight in that funny montage, then they get a distress call, taking them to this Centaurian-looking planet. That's the race that Yondu comes from. It's kind of hard to tell what this character's name is, but it sounds like a Y sound. There weren't subtitles on the video that I was watching. But it's all part of that scene where Thor is just being lazy, meditating under the tree, wearing that poncho, just trying to pretend like he's super enlightened, when really that's not the case. Like, he's just trying to figure out what he's supposed to do with all of his god-tier power now going forward. Like, what do I do in the universe if I'm so powerful? And the Guardians have to come yell at him to come help out during this big battle that's happening. And they're saying that the distress call is because what sounds like Gorr has come and killed their gods, leaving their temple unguarded. When he talks about the power being left unguarded and being threatened like they're trying to save them so that someone doesn't steal their power, that's also from the Gorr comics too. I think that's a bit of a sly wink at Gorr, taking the power of all the gods that he kills, giving him his power-ups so that he can kill more powerful gods, just making it easier for him to go around the universe killing all the different pantheons. The second scene takes place at New Asgard after he's come back, after they've had that scene where he recognizes Jane Foster, he recognizes Mjolnir, and he's come to the town hall to try and rally the Revengers 2.0 so that they can go and try and find out what's going on with Gorr. And they have that longer funny scene of Korg making fun of Jane Foster, calling her Jodie Foster, and him trying to call Mjolnir to himself, and it not working for some reason. Like all of a sudden Stormbreaker just shows up like, oh hey, yeah, I was totally calling you, and not my old hammer. Korg also makes the joke about Jane Foster being the one that escaped Thor, like, the one that got away, that means escaped. They did say they'd have flashbacks to explain why they broke up in the past. They referenced it during Thor Ragnarok, like they'd already broken up when Ragnarok started. The whole reason why Mjolnir probably doesn't come to him might have something to do with the Jane Foster Mighty Thor arc, because during that, he had become the unworthy Thor and just literally could not lift it because the enchantment kept him from doing it. But the reason for that happening was completely different. That was Nick Fury whispering in his ear, Gorr was right, because this was happening after the Gorr storyline, and the movie is just combining both of those storylines, so they're happening at the same time. I think him being unable to call the hammer to himself has something to do with Gorr's storyline during the movie. Like, he's not unworthy in the way that you thought him before, like he thought that he was unworthy, but because Gorr is going around killing all the gods of the MCU because he feels like they're unworthy, they're lazy, they don't care about their subjects, I think that Thor, being kind of lazy and not knowing what he's supposed to do with his life, the Guardians of the Galaxy getting tired of his presence, like, time to get out of here, buddy. That'll play into the whole idea that he can't call Mjolnir to himself. So I think the idea is that at least during part of the movie, or this first part of the movie, he won't be able to just use it during any of these battles. And if it wasn't clear, Stormbreaker does not have the same worthiness enchantment on it, which is why anybody who's powerful enough could wield it. Like Thanos, for instance, is able to put his hand on Stormbreaker and try to use it against Thor. The rest of that scene, though, actually has a big reveal about some of the plot. Thor explains that Gorr has been using the Shadow Realm, which explains where the Necro Sword comes from in the MCU. It comes from this alternate dimension, and when he says it's a place where color literally fears to tread, it explains where all of these scenes are happening later in the trailer, where you see this energy arcing around the planet with the Necro Sword, where you see them fighting each other, where the only color is coming off of the god-tier weapons, like Zeus's lightning bolt and off of Thor himself, because he's literally God, giving off god-tier energy. The Shadow Realm is a place from the comics, but it's like a huge deep cut. It actually predates the creation of the Thor character, like they retconned it into Marvel later on. It comes from the Strange Tales comic book in the 1960s, which is where Doctor Strange comes from, but Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created Doctor Strange after the Shadow Realm. And the way they explain it is that it's just an alternate dimension of pure shadows ruled over by a warlord, and when they retconned it in, they said that that warlord took over Hulk's shadow and tried to use that as a backdoor to take over the main MCU dimension. So basically, all of Gorr's minions behind Thor here in this place are meant to be creatures from this alternate shadow dimension, like shadow demons. And like I said, that also probably explains where the Necro Sword comes from, like the sword is made up of energy from this alternate dimension. Jane Foster's joke catchphrase about bringing the color is about the Rainbow Bridge itself, which we actually see unfurl later in the trailer. Remember, Stormbreaker is capable of opening Bifrost wormholes, and that's basically what the Rainbow Bridge is like a wormhole through different parts of space. And then they decide to go to Omnipotent City to get more information about the Shadow Dimension and about Gorr, which is where all the zoo scenes take place, them confirming it, and probably the scenes of the cosmic entities. Later in the trailer, we see both Thor and Gorr in that same place where all the statues of the cosmic entities are. I've already done a much longer video about which cosmic entities are in this room here, so I'll link that below. But like, yes, there's the Living Tribunal, there's the Watcher, there's Infinity, there's Eternity, there's Death, there's Entropy, a lot of like the really big classic cosmic entity characters that you saw during the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet storyline, and during a lot of other related storylines. We just saw the Living Tribunal as they were passing through the multiverse in Doctor Strange 2, so now is like the time where you start explaining who some of those huge characters are. They're so OP, they're way more powerful than the Celestials, and the other really cool thing about this new trailer is that they actually have Celestials at the Godhead meeting here at Omnipotent City. Like as they take off in the goat boat with the Rainbow Bridge, you see two Celestials kind of back out of the way so they can get through. The thing about the Celestials is that they aren't gods. The Godhead is a meeting of all the gods, but it sounds like they're kind of combining a lot of those ideas during the movie. Like all the most powerful cosmic entities and most powerful gods are meeting to decide what's going on with Gorr the God Butcher. The fact that he shows up in this underground hall here too with the cosmic entities makes it sound like he shows up at this Omnipotent City and just winds up cleaning house, killing most of the gods in here. And then after that, they go down to this place here to get more information. The other funny joke that you may have spotted in here is a big reference to Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes, he does the splits to try and keep those two bikes apart, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is known for doing the splits in a lot of his movies, but it's actually a reference to this commercial that he did, which itself was a parody of himself doing the splits in movies. If you remember a long time ago, it was him doing the splits between these two 18-wheelers. It was like the most epic, crazy commercial you've ever seen. So RIP to Thor's nuts. Who knew he could do the splits like this? But the whole idea of him doing the splits in jeans is a very Jean-Claude Van Damme thing. Like that's how limber Jean-Claude Van Damme is. And then they have the funny joke about his longest handshake ever. Like this is how we do it in Asgard, just trying to prolong the moment as long as possible. The joke about the snake that you cannot trust, I also think is a Loki reference too, because he has the whole back tattoo, RIP Loki. It will be kind of disappointing if we don't see some kind of cameo scene or some small reference to the version of Loki from the TVA and the Loki series. Now, he's a variant, so like he didn't experience Ragnarok or any of Infinity War with him, he just saw it happen in that tape. But like he does remember growing up with the version of Thor, just that his timeline diverged during the events of the original Avengers movie. There's a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy footage in this too, like we hear Groot say, "I am Groot," and it is Vin Diesel's voice, like he still does the voice even for younger Groot, they just pitch shift it so that he sounds younger after the fact. If you spotted any other Easter eggs in the trailer that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. My full review will be up after they release the embargo, that should be the week before the movie comes out. And I'll name a giveaway winner in my next big Marvel video. Everyone click here to learn more about all those cosmic entities in that last big Thor trailer, and click here for my full Miss Marvel Episode 3 video with a whole bunch of connections and Easter eggs for the Shang-Chi movie in the 10 Rings. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.